everyone, it's Doorkeeper07. Today we are playing my new Domain Zoo build, and I've been doing extremely good with this build. Total 18-2 in the leagues with this build, and got two trophies as well. So I played some decks in the meantime, other decks, but didn't play all 20 matches all at once, but kept the score, and my total score with this exact iteration was 18-2, and that felt amazing. Deck really felt good. Two Doorkeeper Thrull in the main did wonders. It's a great card. It's a great cyber card, but also main deckable in some decks. And here in this deck, is sometimes it allows us to scam. Let's say scam Phlage. Phlage stays on the field. If you have Arena of Glory as well, then it becomes very difficult combo to beat. Okay, so it's just two Doorkeeper Trolls in the flex slots of the zoo, and the zoo is just a very consistent, good deck. It will always win on turn 4 if you don't interact with it, and even if you do, it will often just also win on turn 4 as well. And it has a cheap interaction, Leyline Binding, removals, lightning bolts, tribal flames, which go to face and deal a lot of damage, spell snares, consign to memory, stubborn denial, and very effective cyber cards. So we got pest controls, we got pyroclasm, wear tears, more stubborn denials and consign, stony silence, rest in peace, dranet magistrat, what not. So a lot of very cheap, efficient spells that can beat the meta efficiently. Okay, so Domain Zoo had a great success with it in the leagues lately, as I already said. And I slowly tweaked one card, another card, third card until I came to this exact build. And this is where I'm at right now, and I don't want to change anything. Okay, the only change, as you can see here, that I did across these two trophy leagues. So in one of the leagues I trophied, I had two Doorkeeper Trolls in the side, and in the second one I had one Troll and two consigned to memory instead. So I would say this is my kind of a flex slot on the side, like either third consign or fourth Doorkeeper Thrull. I really like all other cards. Of course, there are some other options. Uh, you can play as well for your meta, for stuff you, or if meta changes, or if it's meta different in your LGS. So whatever, but I think this is very good strategy. Also, rest in peace can be risky with Phlage, and you will always have to think about this. But the good thing is, if you're interested, I have a sideboard guide for this exact variation, for this exact 75. This is Domain Zoo Cyber Guide, freshly made a new cyber guide on my dictionary profile. You can find the link down below, and you can find all of these six cyber guides in the same medium tier. So all of the guides are currently here in the medium tier, and that they are all just freshly updated new guides. Demon Frog Cyber Guide, three Domain Zoo guides. So I got Emperor of the Bones Domain Zoo Cyber Guide, also like recent trophy league with two emperors instead of Doorkeeper Trolls. If you like that more, and the different sideboard, the newest list with the two trolls, and the Domain Zookeeper Cyber Guide. This is built with four trolls in the main and four new drifters in the main, which I also had a trophy with, and a lot of good results. And also the new list already got multiple top 8 challenge results. Is doing really good. I can see people across paper magic, in challenges, in results, getting constant good results with this build, and I think it's just like a finished product. I don't want to change anything anymore, and it's very good. Okay. Also, if you're interested in a guide tier, I got articles in that tier, more thoughts on energy and zoo right here, a long extensive article which will also get very updated through March. Okay, so that is it. We can now go check out the gameplay and see how it went. Okay, so let's go. We will start. We will check out the last trophy league, because I don't know why, but the first one only got several of matches saved in my match history. Some matches got saved, some didn't. So we are going to go through the I think the first one was a bit more interesting, but yeah, unfortunately, I don't have it entire in the game history. So we are going to go through the last one. Okay, so in the meantime, since I trophied the first time with the Sound Draco last Thursday, I think I feel like immediately same day somebody got top 8 in challenge with same build, and there was more results in the challenge from then, and I'm seeing it in the leagues. People are really playing it, so it kind of got popular in the meantime, and we can see that in this league as well because I think I played mirror like 2 or 3 times, and it was there are some fun games, especially the match 4. It was really something. Okay, so we can see here playing against mill opponent trying to mill me, but my deck was faster in this situation, and here I got a turn 5 kill with Sign of Dracos. That was the game. Okay, so let's check out game 2 against mill. Okay, so starting with Leyline of the Guild Pact. I got Dragon, I got Spell Snare, I got Binding, so I got stuff to play here. So I decided to risk and keep this one lander. Okay, so here it is. Opponent starts with Island, which means they don't have a removal, which is good news for me, since I didn't find a second land yet. Okay, so opponent passes again. I can now go for a surveil, hoping to hit a second land. Bolt goes to the yard, and the opponent plays Archive Trap. So still no land for me, but at least I can connect with Ragavan. So seems pretty decent position for me. I can still play my spells. I have Leyland Guild Pact, so I have full domain even with just one land. Unfortunately, no lands for me here. Okay, here it is, the second land. Here is the second land. I still don't have much to play, just continue hitting with Phlage. My opponent seemed like didn't have much either. They just I kept the bindings, I kept the snare, but nothing really happened. I just continue attacking with Ragavan, putting my opponent lower and lower on life. Pretty ideal situation for me, I would say. So now I go for a Phlage 3 face. Opponent just consigns my 3 damage with Phlage. That's totally fine. Pass the turn, and then again try to maybe find a kill on my turn. Opponent unfortunately gains a lot of life there with Crypt Incursion. So another treasure with Ragavan. Ragavan really did a lot of damage in this one. And I go for Phlage. Now Phlage is in the yard. I can try to play it from the yard. Next turn, opponent goes for a Snaring Bridge. But yeah, that's really not that relevant. I have a couple of bindings in my hand. So now I continue attacking with Ragavan, getting more treasures. I can now play Phlage from the yard. And yeah, Phlage finally puts some more power on the field, which makes my clock much better. My opponent is now on 16, so we can now see that it's close to the end. And okay, so opponent passes the turn. They are on 16, end of turn. I go for Leyline Binding. They consign the Leyline. That's fine. So now I go for another Leyline. And they have Visions of Beyond, but no more mana to counter my Leyline Binding. So I go in with everything. That is a lot of damage. My opponent is now down on 5, and I have 6 damage in my hand to just finish this immediately on the spot. So I go for a Phlage and Bolt Face to finish things immediately. I even have Spell Snare backup if needed. So That was it. Pretty, I would say, bad hand for the opponent in game two. And yeah, that was leads to easy win. Okay, so let's check out game match two. Mill is kind of popular again, and it was always kind of a decent matchup for Zoo. Okay, here it is. First Zoo mirror. I think yeah, as I said, this list just got really popular, and people are also not trying just this list, but they're also trying other lists as well. Okay, and I think matchups were against Zoo mirrors. Matchups were really fun. So let's check out what happened here. So I wanted to go, I wanted to attack with Ragavan here. So I just shocked in all three of my lands and Phlage the Wild Cattle, attack for 6, put my opponent down on 12 and still gain 4 life, go up to 14. I played Territorial Kavu and here I block with Territorial Cow. Mine has first strike. Opponent tries binding to take my Scion, but I have Consign for that. Consign is pretty sweet in the Zoo mirrors. Okay, so Ragavan. I take their Ragavan as I had a lethal anyway. I just take their Ragavan and go in with everything. That was the game. So let's check out game two. Okay, so here you can see me mulliganing that one. It was not that bad of a hand, but I thought I could do better here. So and I was right. This was a better hand. So I started off with Ragavan. I have Kavu plus Get Lost. That feels good. So I can go. Ragavan is actually often pretty good in Zoom mirrors. So I go for a Get Lost here, a kill sign on Jaco, and I can often steal some very relevant spells. Like here, you can see me finding sign of Jaco. Unfortunately, I don't have mana to cast it. Okay, so I go for Ragavan attack, and this helps me kill their second Scion with Phlage. Also now Phlage in the yard means I can escape it, and which gives me a lot of advantage. Okay, so I'm not in a hurry to do this. I can go for Territorial Kavu this turn. So I go for a Territorial Kavu, play my land. I can now have Binding for their turn. Opponent uh, goes for Phlage, gains some life, and I go escape Phlage, put them down on 12, and now I have Tribal Flames and Bolt in hand, but opponent is now closer to finding their own Phlage, but I find Ragavan from the top. Ragavan was amazing and actually helped me finish this immediately. I find a lightning bolt from top of their library, and now I can have enough damage to finish things immediately here, and I go for I have a lot of damage in hand, and together with Ragavan, that is enough for lethal this turn. So that was it. That was win against Zoo Mirror number one. Okay, so let's check out match three. As I said, I think the first league was more interesting. First trophy league was more interesting because I had a variety of matchups there. And in this league, it was just mostly Zoo Mirrors, three Zoo Mirrors, and Mill matchup and Dimir Affinity. But I think, nevertheless, games were pretty fun in most of the games. Okay, so opponent goes for Refurbished Familiar there, Mox Opal, Dot Monitor, and I would say, pretty crazy turn two for them. They still have Urza Saga and two cards in hand, plus Bubble drawing them one more. So they go for a dot cast here. I play Stubborn Denial this way. They have to choose between making a construct or drawing two. So that was a good Stubborn Denial for me. I Now I can find a third land to cast the Sino Jaco and pass the turn, but now my opponent can make really big constructs, and I'm in big trouble at the moment. Opponent also had Lava Spore Boots in their deck, which made which made me have to jump. I have to jump with Sarah Draco, which made my job impossible here. So I lost game one, and let's check out what happened in game two and three. Okay, so in game two, Pest Control is a great cyber card against them. I brought the Pest Control, and it can really clear their board very efficiently. Opponent starts with Fountain. Blood Fountain starts can be very strong in their deck, especially if they pair it with Mox Opal. Okay, so I have a Scion combo. Scion is the great beater here. I also have Pest Control, which can really ruin their game plan, and the Lightning Bolt. So yeah, we can see here opponent how good Blood Fountain can be in Affinity deck. This allowed my opponent to play turn 2 Kappa Cannoneer. That was kind of insane, but I used a Pest Control to clear their board, and yeah. Okay, so now I continue attacking with Scion or Jaco. They're down on 12, and next turn I can just attack with Scions and finish them off with Tribal Flames. Okay, so they have a lot. They have a big kappa, very very big kappa, and they have a top monitor. But yeah, that's still not enough to survive here. I have Bold Face, Tribal Flames Face, and attack with a Trample, a Sign of Jacobs. They can't do anything about that. So that was a game over in game two. So let's check out game three. Okay, so again, my opponent starts with Blood Fountain plus Mishra Bubble in game three. This can also lead to turn two Kappa Cannoneer, which can be hard to deal with. And yeah, so I go for a Surveil on turn one. My opponent plays a lot of spells, passes the turn. I don't have much, but I find Verter from the top. My opponent digging with blood tokens. They go for Verter and they kill both of my Leyline of the Guild Pact, which was good because I had Sano Jacob, but now they did not have a solution for my Stony Silence, which kind of just locked them out of the game on this game 3. And then I also had Verter to kill the Urza Saga, Bolt the Ornithopter, and now my opponent is in problem. They only have one Spire of Industry here making mana for them. And I'm building my board here. So now I have Territorial Cow. I will have also have Sino Jaco and the Phlage soon on the field. So I go for a Scion. Stony Silence still making it very, very hard for my opponent to do much. But they finally find enough artifacts and mana to cast a Tot Monitor. Tot Monitor, of course, just trying to help them find a solution, but the thing is they already used two Verters. They already used two Verters and they don't have much answers left to kill this Stony Silence with just one mana. So they only have one mana from Spire of Industry. That's it. Mox Opal don't work. Torment Script don't work to exile my Phlage. They only have one mana from Spire of Industry. So they are kind of locked out of the game. And I have a kill next turn. So that's it. That was the game and the match against Affinity. So let's check out match 4. And this was, I think this was the trickiest match. I think it was also very interesting. We will check it out. Okay, my opponent starts with the Layla on the Guild Pact. That's a big thing, I would say, in the Zoo Mirror. Uh, these games can actually last much longer than you might think. Okay, I liked this game where I started off with Ragavan and then I can hold Consign. I can hold Consign plus Stubborn Denial to counter their removal. And I was thinking here, yeah, I was thinking like maybe I should hold the Consign for if they go for Scion, but protecting territorial cow just feels really, really important. And I had double Scion on Jacob, which is a way for me to deal with their Scion combo. Okay, so now I have to let the damage this turn through. I have to let the damage through. But next turn I have double Scion plus Leyline Binding, and that sounds like a combo that can stop their thing. Okay, so um, I go for attack with both, and I get the draw from Consign, and my opponent just lets everything resolve. I take their Leyline of the Guild Pact immediately so I can bolt their Kavu because they only had two card types without Leyline of the Guild Pact, and bolting Kavu there was just too good to not to go for it. So here I go, Arena of Glory, give haste to my second Scion, and still have mana for Spell Snare open. So my opponent has to respawn here, and they go for Consign to memory. Yeah, nothing I can do there. So okay, I decide to ditch the Spell Snare in this situation and just try to find something usable immediately. And I find Bolt from the top for immediate kill, and that was the game against Zoo. In game one, let's check out game two. Okay, so let's check out game two. Okay, so here you can see how Spell Snare can be relevant in some games. So my opponent is playing first, but instead of them attacking, I'm taking a role of attacker here. So I'm Spell Snaring their territorial cow and playing my territorial cow. So now they have to answer it. If they can't answer it, they're in a big problem. And my opponent takes my cow with binding and plays their sign on Draco. I'm unfortunately stuck on my lens. I'm stuck on my lens, but um here I find Leyline. This is a playable spell, so that is something. I go for the Leyline end of turn. Unfortunately, my opponent has Consign again. So I decided to go down on one life and play Phlage to go down on four again. So I wanted to find full domain, but to survive a bolt, I had to play Phlage that turn. And I went down on 4, but unfortunately my opponent has Phlage plus Bolt for lethal, so that wasn't enough for me here to get out of this situation, which was unfortunate because next turn I would be like really close uh, to going to save zone, just binding the cow end of turn, doing the cow ability to try to find the fourth land, then escape Phlage from the yard, and kind of make things easy for me. But yeah, my opponent finds a kill, so that was the game. So I had to solve this in game three, and game three was really interesting. So let's check that out. Okay, so uh, seems like a good hand, but my opponent starts with Leyline of the Guild Pact, so their hand could be even better. And yes, so they have turn 1 Ragavan, that's pretty good. I go for turn 2 Territorial Kavu. Unfortunately, my opponent has a removal for Kavu and connects with Ragavan. Takes just another Phlage from the top. That was actually good for me. My opponent plays Sino Jacob, and they have the Leyline combo. So you can see how hard was the situation for me in this moment. They have Phlage in the yard, Sino Jacob combo on the field. They also have a removal for one of my Scions, and my options were very limited here, but I have a third Scion Jacob try to double block their Scion and try to strategize here. Opponent fills the yard for their Phlage, and this was really good. Okay, so at this point, when they play Arena of Glory, my plan becomes very clear. So I have to counter the second Phlage trigger with Consign, make them attack here. So make them attack, make them try to think they will kill my Scion, but instead I'm countering that trigger and double blocking their Scion. And that was my only hope here, to double block the Scion and get rid of the Scion. At the same time, I'm filling the yard for my Phlage, and now I also have Arena of Glory, which helps me kill their Phlage. So in the matter of one turn, the situation is completely changed. My opponent went from having Scion combo and escaped Phlage into not having anything, and this was amazing turn. And I also got up from uh, from very low life up to 13, which was huge deal for me here. Okay, so I was very low on life, risked at dying over anything basically, and my opponent actually finds exile removal for my Phlage plus wear and tear to kill my Sino-Draco. So again a situation where we are in a top deck mode, and I also find territorial cow. I can now haste it to take their Phlage. So I'm now taking their Phlage with my territorial cow, dealing 5, and I can also now try to continue digging towards playing my Phlage from the yard. And I also have Scion plus Cow at this point, and I have a binding, I have tribal flames and Phlage in the yard, so I just didn't want to discard anything with Cow. My hand was great, and I had a lethal here, so I went for the tribal flames phase here to finish things off, and that was enough, and I got the win here. But it was really good and really unexpected turnaround, and I just cleared their board out of nowhere. That Consign was the key card, countering that second Phlage trigger to save my Draco, and then Arena of Glory, my Phlage from the yard. That was really amazing. Okay, so let's check out game three. Sorry, match five, the trophy match of this league. I mulliganed, and I mulliganed to 6 and keep like very medium hand, just the Ragavan uh, plus a land. Okay, so I go for um, here I go for Sino Jaco, and I'm hoping they can't kill my Scion, because next turn I have Leyline the Guild Pact, but my opponent finds even better thing than Leyline the Guild Pact combo, that is the Doorkeeper Thrull Phlage combo, which allows them to skim Phlage, and they even have Arena of Glory, which lets Phlage attack immediately. So I have no idea why my opponent didn't attack last turn, but yeah, and thanks to that, I was now able to stabilize a bit. And if they go for attack in from this situation, I can like Bolt Phlage, then first strike Phlage with Sign of Jacob plus Lena Gilpack combo. So now I'm actually gained some life, and I'm actually in okay situation. And but yeah, my draws just weren't that good, and my opponent also finds Scion combo, which was the key for them here. Just finding the Scion combo here was too good, and at this point I have to risk a bit, trade for the Scions and trade the combo, and try to find a solution for Phlage from the top of the library. Okay, so yeah, unfortunately, it's not there. I can survive on one life, but yeah, my hand, I'm not very optimistic for in beating them with my hand. Okay, so I have the bolt to kill the troll, which lets me survive this turn on one life. But yeah, when playing against Zoo, they have more flages, they have more bolt, they have more tribal flames, so there's just very low chance of surviving something like this. So that was the game. I'm down a game in the trophy match, so hard situation playing against Mirror. And okay, so let's check this out. Um, in game 3, I kept a hand with a lot of 1 mana counters, and they were truly amazing in this game. So let's check out how it went. I have Sino Draco, which is a good threat. I have all the 1 mana counters. Consign counters Binding plus Scion. Spell Snare counters Frog plus Territorial Kavu. And we can see them taking my Scion here with Binding, but that's okay. Opponent goes for Phlage. I decide to let Phlage resolve. Maybe I had the option to take a Phlage with Leyline Binding. Maybe that was better. And I have Leyline the Guild Pact in my hand. So if I draw a land, I can have a Scion combo myself, which is obviously very good in the matchup. We can see now opponent has Phlage. And this time they can escape it. Yeah, so they go for escape and they go for a haste, but I have get lost to get rid of the Phlage, and I go for a Ragavan dash, going for 6, putting my opponent down on 13, and passing the turn. Now my opponent has to fill their yard again to recast Phlage. In meantime, I find the Scion combo, play Leyline of the Guild Pact, which puts me in a great situation. Okay, so here it is. Opponent plays another Phlage, just go face, try to gain more life, and I go for a Ragavan dash here, putting my opponent exactly to 5, and I even don't have to use my flames, but use the flames for from opponent's top of the decks to finish things off here. So that was win against Domain Zoo in game 2. And so let's check out the game 3, the last game of this league. Let's see how it went. Okay, so I'm keeping Layla the Guild Pact combo plus Sano Jacob combo in my hand, and I also have a Reign of Glory and Territorial Kavu. That is a pretty good hand. Okay, opponent goes for turn to Territorial Kavu, but yeah. So in this situation, many would play Sino Jacob combo, but they can attack with Territorial Kavu into my Sino Jacob, trying to dig more, trying to uh, get rid of the useless cards from their hand, and try to find a solution for my for my Sino combo here. But so I decide to take the territorial cover first, then play the Scion later. And the opponent actually gets rid of my Layla of the Guild Pack here and plays their own, which was a great turn for them. I decided to start gaining life here. I decided it was too risky to go for their Leyline, let the damage through, and I decided it's best to get my Leyline back immediately, and I wanted to play but for the rest of the game I really wanted to play safe. So I went for the Leyline the Guild Pact first. I wanted to have double Leyline, double Scion. This way I'm sure they can surprise me with their last card. And unfortunately my opponent has a Consign here again, so they counter my Scion. um, I didn't want to trade the science in this situation. It seemed unnecessary. It seemed unnecessary, pretty unnecessary, because I'm in a much better situation. I have territorial cover. I can attack with it. I'm safe, high life total, so I can just use the cover abilities and get better cards than them. Get rid of the useless cards. So in a big advantage. No point, I think, like exiling, trading science in a situation like this. But maybe I was wrong. Yeah. Maybe I was wrong. That's possible as well. Unfortunately, I kept drawing cards, but yeah, the cards weren't great. So, but I was able to really uh, get rid of the useless cards, also exile Phlage from the yard, thanks and gains and continue gaining life with by attacking with territorial Kavu. Okay, so here it is, another attack. Discard one of my lands, find Tribal Flames. So now I play the Ragavan and pass the turn. Tribal Flames. It's not great, but it's something not that useless. Okay, I go for a Ragavan here. Opponent surveils and leaves their card on top of the library. Okay, so they now go for the Psychic Frog. Psychic Frog is not that great in a situation like this, where they don't have many cards in their hand. And now I attack with Territorial Kavu and still trying to find some solutions. I don't want to trade Scions just yet, although they probably don't have anything in their hand. But I just didn't want to trade Scions at this point. My opponent has frogs, so there is also fear that frog could get too large for me to attack into. Okay, I still let them attack. Next turn, I can attack with Cabo plus Sino Draco, and this way, um, if they let the damage through, I can finish them off with Tribal Flames, which is great, great news for me here. Now we finally trade for the science, so I don't have a kill because we traded, and I can play another scion, get combo back online, play the tribal flames, and grow and kill the frog. This way they can't really give flying to frog and pump it and continue drawing cards or whatever. So I decide to get rid of the frog immediately, just flames it and my opponent concedes. So that was it. That was a win. And in the trophy match, and got the trophy. Got it was actually back-to-back two trophies with the same deck. Didn't play the leagues one after another, but yeah, it was just I played a different deck in the meantime, but I got two trophy leagues in a row with this deck, which felt great. And overall, 18-2 scored with this exact build felt phenomenal. And I saw that the people immediately saw my build in the leagues, took it to the challenge. There's already like multiple top 8 results in the challenge. List is doing great all around. I can see people sending me messages of doing well in the paper events, in the leagues, and whatever. Okay, so this is it. As I said, the only change I did between two trophy leagues is one time I had two consigned to memory, and one time I had two Doorkeeper Thrull on the side. So that was the only change. And I think you can decide between those two if you're playing against more Orzo Blink, then go for four Doorkeeper Thrull. If you're playing against more Eldrazi, then it's okay to play third consigned to memory instead of the four Doorkeeper Thrull. And but overall, the deck is pretty good. I prefer this split of one mana counters in the main at the moment. I feel like Spell Snare is the most useful main deckable one mana counter in the main right now. Consign to Memory and Stubborn Denial are both good, but I think like there are some matchups where each of these can be dead, and I don't like just throwing them too much because these matchups are matchups which are very common, so it's not easy to have a dead card when playing against very common matchups. So that's why I decided for this split, right, which you can see here. Very happy with that. And yes, so I'm very happy with the sideboard. Sideboard is super efficient. And as I already said, sideboard guide is up on my dictionary for this version and for the last version from my channel with four null drifters, which also I did trophy with and which also saw some good results in the challenges, in the leagues. Both lists doing very good. They are different lists, very different lists. This is not upgrade to that list. This is very different list. This is classic zoo with just two Doorkeeper Trolls in the flex slots because I like them too much in the Null Drifter build. And there is a build with four Trolls in the main and full Null Drifters. That is like very different build trying to use Doorkeeper Trolls even more efficiently and even more for scamming the null drifters and the phlages. And these builds are very different. It's just 8 cards in the main. eight card difference in the main, but also the sideboard is different, and the strategy when playing against some decks is different because it's a more mid-rangey build, and there's a really lot going on. So there are some cyber cards which are good there, like a Kozilek's Return, which is a big deal with Null Drifter, like really, really good synergy there, and stuff like that. So different sideboard, different mainboard, different builds. That's it. Also, there is Emperor of the Bones cyber guide, which is the very similar list to this, but with two Emperors of the Bones in the main and a different sideboard if you prefer something like that. So you have that too. So three Zoo cyber guides here plus Dimir Frog, Mardu Energy, Esper Vile, and probably Esper Frog also coming soon. That's it. Okay, so thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. For the end, friendly reminder to click like, click subscribe, comment down in the video. Tell me how do you like this list in comparison to the last list with four null drifters or the list with Emperor of the Bones in the main. Unfortunately, I had to show this league with three mirror matches, which I think they were fine, they were interesting, and it shows that Domain Zoo is getting really popular at the moment in the leagues. It's not that common to play three mirrors in the league with any deck, so that's kind of funny. And but the second league got deleted from my match history somehow. I don't know. So yeah, I couldn't show that. That was had more bigger variety of interesting matchups. Very common matchups like Grinding Breach was my trophy match. A very interesting match against Grinding Breach. And I had matches against Boros Energy and Esper Frog, all the relevant transfers in the second league. So yeah, unfortunately, that one got deleted somehow. So I went with this, but this was also very fun and shows just how Zoo is strong and efficient right now from both sides, like playing against it and playing with it. And okay, so that is it. And I think this version is right now it is the better version than I tried version playing four Nakatas like my opponent in match one. I tried versions playing four Frog like my opponent in match five. I tried all these variations and I tried all these builds. There was just a full month of non-stop playing a zoo with different cards, testing this, testing that, and this is like after a full month of testing of each version and a bunch of cards in the sideboard, in the main board, trying versions of other people's what other people ideas, my friends' ideas, and a lot of stuff. And after all this, I settled on this build, and it kind of feels perfect. It's bringing results not just for me but for others as well. I'm really happy with at the moment my two Doorkeeper Trolls in the flex slot is my favorite option. This card is just so good. It's good against energy. It's good against Orzo Blink or Esper Blink. It's good against Grinding Station, stops the Grinding Station combo. It's good against Amulet Titan, which is also kind of getting bigger and bigger. It's good against so much decks that you're not even aware. It's good like against Affinity, so it completely destroys Affinity in some cases, stops the Kappa Cannoneer, just remains 4/4 for the rest of the game, and can be blocked easily with Kavu and Sion, whatever. So also Thought Monitor doesn't work. Some other cards like Blood Fountain doesn't work. Soul Guide Lantern doesn't work. ATB and a lot more examples. Okay, so that is it. Also, I really like the sideboard. Sideboard was a big work. So I worked on a sideboard, and after each league, I changed one or two cards, and it didn't feel good. Something was off. I was missing something in that matchup. I was missing something in that matchup, and I had to play like dozen of leagues to get it perfect, to get the sideboard guide perfect. So I have a very good game playing pause board against all the relevant decks. And yeah, now it's finished, and the sideboard guide is live. As I said over here, you can find it there if interested. And that's all for today. So thank you for watching and goodbye.